It's Super Netball Grand Final week with the West Coast Fever and Melbourne Vixens to meet in the season decider at Rod Laver Arena, and it means it's a busy week for Netball Australia Chair Liz Ellis, who was in Canberra putting some politicians through their paces.
Couldn't feel my fingers, and I was really surprised, actually. We had a bit of a parliamentary netball game. It's very competitive, highly skilled. I thought it was going to be a bit of just a lazy old run around. No way. In the freezing cold, we had a heap of politicians there, lots from the West with their West Coast Fever merch on. They were a bit cock-a-hoop. But, you know, we had Christy McBain, we had the Minister for Netball, Joe Ryan, we had Madeline King, we had Anne Rushton, all showing us how good they are on the netball court. Mark Abib, of course, from the Australian Olympic Committee. So, yeah, busy morning, and I made a comeback, and it was eminently forgettable.
Hardly. I'm sure you start, as always. It is a huge week for netball in this country, of course, the Super Netball Grand Final. Let's start on court. What are you expecting from the matchup between the Fever and the Vixens?
Oh, look, I think it's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere at Rod Laver Arena. We're hearing that we're going to go close to selling out. We'll be able to confirm that later in the week. So I think between the Fever and the Vixens, we've obviously got the two best teams in the competition. Fever come into this game with a massive win in the final, in their semi-final over the Swifts. So they'll have an enormous amount of confidence from that game. Janelle Fowler, the spearhead for them. But I actually feel like they are performing beautifully all the way down the court. Keep an eye on Sunday Ariang in that goal defence position. She is a player to watch, and she's so exciting, and she will really spearhead the Fever. For the Vixens, they'll come into the grand final after a huge win over the Swifts in that one-goal win in the preliminary final. They were 11 goals down at quarter time. They'll be doing it for their coach, Simone McInnes. There'll be lots of emotions for them. Just watch Rudy Ellis. I love an Ellis playing goalkeeper at one end of the court, Sophie Garvin at the other end of the court. It should be a fantastic game.
I was going to mention, of course, you're one of the greatest goalkeepers of all time. How would you have dealt with the threat of a shooter like Janelle Fowler-Nemard from the Fever?
Look, I'm not coaching the Vixens, which is probably a good thing, because I would advise just to get your sharpest elbows out. And the way to play against someone like Janelle Fowler-Nemard is to really be a pest. You know that she's not going to give you much, but you've just got to contest the ball for 59 minutes, and you're like a little mosquito jumping around her, and then you just hope she drops the ball in the last minute. But, you know, whenever I played against players like that, I always reminded my teammates that the work had to be done further up the court. So if I was Rudy Ellis, I'd be saying to the Vixens girls, from the shooters down, you've got to do the defensive work up the court to give me a chance.
We've set a record season for crowds this year, Liz. What gains have you seen for netball in 2025?
Yeah, well, I think the thing for netball in 2025 is that we are building on the foundation that we laid last year. We had a record season last year. We broke the record. We now own the record for the most people through the turnstiles for any women's sports league in this country. And this year, again, we've broken it. So almost 400,000 people turning up. Our broadcast numbers on Fox are up year on year, so they're going really strong. We've got incredible corporate interest, and people love the sport. And I think in the last couple of years, we've given them reason to love the sport and for netball people to feel proud of the sport. One of the things that we're investigating now and working with the Australian Olympic Committee on is whether we can, in fact, be in the Brisbane Olympics in 2032. So we've had two really big years for the sport, and they are just the foundations for the years to come. We've got a World Cup coming up in 2027. We're doing some work around what Super Netball will look like from 2027 and beyond, and the expansion of the competition and adding new teams. And then 2032, we're really hopeful that we're there and we make our debut at the Olympics. So super exciting times for the sport.
Yep, let's stack it with all the sports the Aussies are good at. Netball, let's get cricket on there as well. A gold medal rush in Brisbane sounds good to me. Liz, thanks for your time. Always appreciate it. We'll speak again soon.
Thanks so much, Luke.